say the beauty of the world lies in its diversity. Imagine growing up in an environment where differences are respected, celebrated, and honored. There's a lot to learn from these differences, as well as to realize the value and significance of our own socio-cultural roots. Our backgrounds shape our choices, our outlook, and can also serve as a strong foundation to build the future of our dreams. Good evening to all, and welcome to the fourth day of AVENIR 2021. The cat's eye color, golden brown, on day 4 reflects intrapersonal intelligence, which is related to self-awareness and the ability to recognize one's strengths and weaknesses. Students having a high quotient of this intelligence can excel as researchers, philosophers, counselors, and therapists.
Wow, this is what we are here for. AVENIR 2021 is organized with the vision to empower and facilitate students to navigate their future and make their dreams real.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Honorable Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, members of various boards of directors, CBSE officials, dignitaries of the Indian Embassy, Sultanate of Oman, Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, presidents of all the participating school managing committees, principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, and all the enthusiastic aspirants from across the globe.
We cordially welcome distinguished members of the business community, members of the education cell, our sponsors, digital partner, our media partner, and valued donors.
This year, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir is the proud torchbearer of this mega event under the aegis of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman. Welcome all once again. Your hosts for this evening are Sai Gayatri from Class 12
and Trisha from Class 9
from Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir. Dear audience, it is our pleasure and privilege to have you all here with us on this journey of transforming your dreams into reality. Dear participants, you are requested to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in the chat box towards the end of the session. Filling this form would fetch you a participation certificate. For those who have joined through YouTube, you are requested to check the description box for the link of the feedback form. You are also requested to post your queries in the chat box. Our distinguished guest will answer them in the question and answer session.
Wellington is the geographic, political, and cultural heart of New Zealand. Victoria University, Wellington is one of New Zealand's oldest, largest, and most prestigious universities. Today, we are honored to have with us an eminent representative, Ms. Andrea McLeod-Karim from Victoria University, Wellington, who would discuss programs and courses offered by the university. Before that, let us watch a video presentation about the university.
Opening in January 2022, the VU City Tower embodies a university campus of the future, an industry-connected vertical campus in the heart of Melbourne's CBD and legal precinct. With partners located on our doorstep and within our campus, the VU City Tower will be fully integrated with industry, a reimagined campus model. Our partners will facilitate industry-based learning, providing placements and opportunities for collaboration on industry projects. Our advisory boards ensure that our curriculum is shaped by industry and that you are learning the skills and knowledge that you will need in both today and tomorrow's world of work. The VU City Tower embodies our commitment to sustainable business practices, with the campus achieving a 5-star green rating. This commitment is also demonstrated through our partnerships with companies committed to ethical and sustainable business practices, with custom-designed student-centric spaces to encourage collaborative learning and teaching. The VU City Tower is a
Now I call upon our guest speaker for the session, Ms. Andrea McLeod Kareem from Victoria University, Wellington. Over to you, ma'am, for your presentation.
Thank you so much, Sai Gayatri and Trisha. You've done a wonderful job of preparing and introducing the university. Good evening, everyone. And as we say in New Zealand, kia ora. That's basically the greeting in our Indigenous language, Maori. It's wonderful to be here with you. I just wish that I could be physically present in Oman, hopefully one day again soon. In terms of the people attending tonight, it's wonderful to have representation from the Indian Schools Network across the Sultanate. I will be giving a brief presentation on the university and the courses that we offer. There will also be a Calendly link put in the chat box or the Q&A so that you are able to make one-on-one basically sessions with me if you do wish to have more information about the university in the coming days. It's a great opportunity to personally plan out your study if you would like to take that chance. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen now to begin telling you about our university and what you can study there. I'll also be talking about New Zealand as a study destination because I'm aware that many people might not be familiar with it. So we'll do a little bit of information on New Zealand, a bit of information on Wellington, and then move on to the overall details of what you can study at our university. So Victoria University of Wellington was founded in 1897. We are one of 8 universities in New Zealand. All 8 universities in New Zealand are public universities, and we are all in the top 2% of universities worldwide. For our university, we are ranked at number 236 as per the QS rankings this year. We have 20 subjects in the top 1% worldwide and 11 subjects in the top 100 worldwide. So some very prestigious offerings there for you to choose from. We normally have around 22,000 students studying with us, of which 3,800 are international. Indian students are usually my 5th largest nationality on campus, with around 200 enrolled every year. We are also the #1 university in New Zealand for intensity of high quality research. So if you're interested in studying a subject where you will go on to a master's and then on to a PhD, there's some fantastic research opportunities for you there. Just to start with some information about New Zealand as a study destination first. When you're thinking of studying internationally, there's a lot of different choices. It's important to work out what is the right option for you as per what you want to study, as per the types of opportunities available for you there. So New Zealand is a study destination where your qualification will be recognized and respected globally across all the countries worldwide. It was also the first country in the world to adopt a code of practice for pastoral care for international students, which means that we take our responsibility to look after you while you're studying with us very seriously. I have mentioned that we're all in the top 3% of universities in the world, Victoria University of Wellington being in the top 2% of universities worldwide. It is a very practical education in New Zealand. There's a lot of opportunities for internships and work experience while you study, and they're also quite flexible options for study as well, where you can do 1 or 2 specializations or even 2 degrees at the same time. And we have very simple, very transparent entry requirements where it is only dependent on your academics and your English language. You don't need to worry about submitting essays or extracurriculars or letters of reference or even portfolios with us. We will be only looking at your 12th grade scores as well as your English language. And I will be addressing what admission requirements we have a little later in the presentation. So apart from studying in New Zealand, it's also a fantastic place to both live and work as well. You have probably seen The Lord of the Rings or similar movies, seen the stunning landscapes that we have there. It's a beautiful country. It's very easy to travel around. Wherever you are in New Zealand, there is always a beach nearby. There's always somewhere stunning where you can enjoy yourself outside of class hours. You can also work part-time while you're studying in New Zealand. You can work 20 hours a week during semester and full-time during your holidays. And the minimum wage is quite generous. It's about $20 an hour for a basic level job that you might be doing part-time while you're studying. Then when you finish, you have a 3-year post-study work visa. So the post-study work visa is open. You don't need a job offer for it. You can work for anybody you want to in New Zealand during that time. So where we're located, we're in the capital city of New Zealand, which our lovely compares rightfully pointed out. It is the geographic, it is the political, and it is also the creative centre of New Zealand. So if you look at a map of New Zealand, we are at the bottom of the North Island. Now, apart from the government being based there, we also do have a very large creative sector. So the film industry is based there. Not many people are aware, but New Zealand actually has quite a large film industry in that we're very well known for our for our know-how in, you could say, VFX, animation, post-production. So a lot of Hollywood movies come to New Zealand for their post-production, VFX, animation, and for film scoring. So if you have an interest in any of those areas, there's really great opportunities with the studios based there. The last Avengers movies were all done there. The next Avatar movies are being done there at the moment. So do ask me questions if you're interested in those areas. I'd be more than happy to tell you more about that. It's also a great games design industry based there. Apart from that, Wellington is also a very high-tech city. It has about 25% of the IT jobs in New Zealand based there. So again, if you're interested in engineering, software, artificial intelligence, data science, areas like that, great place to study and then work afterwards. It has the highest median incomes in New Zealand. So if you graduate and you get a job in Wellington, you can expect to be paid quite well afterwards too. And it is, as you can see from the pictures, overall quite a gorgeous city. There's a beautiful waterfront. It's got a great cafe culture. So if you're a foodie, there's some great options in terms of eating and drinking there. And there's lots of fun things to do on your days off, whether it's taking a cricket match at Basin, or whether it's going for a hike, or as we like to say, a tramp nearby, going to one of our wildlife sanctuaries, or to a free concert or festival that's put on by the government. There's always something fun to do. So this is a map of the city showing where our campuses are. Wellington's quite a compact city. It's very easy to get around. You can walk most places within the central business district, good public transport system as well. We have 3 main campuses. If you can see on the map, Kelburn is where the majority of our subjects are taught. Pipitea is where we teach business, government and law. And Te Aro is where we teach design and architecture. There is also the Miramar Creative Centre, which focuses on film production, VFX and animation. So how does a bachelor's degree in New Zealand work? Most of our bachelor's degrees are 3 years in length. There are some exceptions to that. So if students are interested in studying, for example, engineering or law, those are 4 years in length. If you're looking to do a subject like medicine, that can be 5-6 years in length. Now, there are both flexible and structured degrees. So a structured degree would be, for example, architecture, engineering, building science, subjects like these. In these degrees, you typically do only one major, and your course is structured quite strictly, so you don't have much free choice of subjects. But if you're looking to do, for example, a bachelor's of arts or commerce or science or even design innovation, you can usually choose to do either 1 or 2 majors. You can do a major and minors, or you could either take one major from your main degree and a second major from a second degree. So very flexible, very easy to structure it in the way that meets the learning outcomes that you want. And as I said earlier, you can make an appointment to speak to me one-on-one through the Calendly link that will be given. So this means that I can help you with that planning, with what exactly is possible as per your study plans. Just going to go through the bachelor's degrees that we offer. I'll talk to you about intakes. I'll talk to you about some of the main majors. Don't worry, I won't go through every major. We've got more than 100 on offer, so that would take quite some time, because I would prefer to basically leave more time at the end for you to ask your questions and to be able to get some advice on the areas that you're interested in studying. So we do have the #1 Bachelor's of Arts degree in New Zealand. Our Bachelor's of Arts is in the top 1% worldwide, and many of our subjects, which are in the top 100 subject in the world in terms of university rankings, are also in this area. International relations, political science, psychology, criminology, and English literature are all very popular options for study under this bachelor's degree. You can take 1 or 2 majors. We do have minors as well available within it, and it has 2 intakes per year in February and in July. Also within the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, we have the Bachelor's of Communication, which is also 3 years in length and has February and July intakes. So the Bachelor's of Communication is a fantastic choice if you love writing, you know that you want to do something in your career with the written word, but you might be looking for example, either a more practical option or to explore different areas within it. So you can do intercultural communication, marketing communication, really innovative subjects like science and political communication. Communications is an area of growth for employment. Most organizations will hire communications professionals these days for both internal as well as external communication to stakeholders. So if you love writing, if you're good with both verbal as well as written communication, this could be a good option for you. We also have the Bachelor's of Music with intakes in February and July. Now, the Bachelor's of Music is one of our only programs where you require something other than your academics. If you would like to take either a performance or a composition major, then you will need to do an audition. We do have these online for international students. So you can do your audition via usually Skype or Zoom. And you would also be expected, for those majors at least, to have achieved, you could say, for example, the equivalent of a grade 8 in your Trinity exams. So we go to our next faculty and the bachelor's degrees offered. This is the Faculty of Architecture and Design Innovation. So in New Zealand, to qualify as an architect, it is a 3-year bachelor's degree followed by a 2 years master's. You can work in an architecture firm via post your bachelor's degree. It's just that somebody has to supervise your work and sign off on it until the point in time when you've completed your master's. So most students do that. They complete their architecture, they have their 3-year work visa, and they gain some work experience. They come back and they do their master's at a later stage. So we have architecture, interiors, and landscapes as the main majors there. Now, building sites is another great area to study because this is very much in demand as a skill area. Project management is about construction project management. We have a shortage of people trained in this area in New Zealand, and sustainable engineering systems relates to the construction of green buildings or environmentally friendly buildings. So fantastic skill sets to have, very much in demand for employment. Bachelor's of Design Innovation is also 3 years in length, and all of these programs have only a February intake at the moment. We are looking at November intakes for the future as well. So for the Bachelor's of Design Innovation, you've got a lot of choice, whether you're interested in animation, VFX, media design, game design, communication design, fashion design technology, interaction design to be a UX designer, all different areas, and can take up to 2 there. Our next faculty is Business, Government and Law. So the Bachelor's of Commerce degree would be one of my most popular bachelor's degrees for international students. We do get many applicants for this. It has 3 intakes a year, February, July and November. Now, just to highlight a few of the subjects there, if you take accounting, then this leads to accreditation as a chartered accountant. So you don't need to take your chartered accountancy exam separately. It's built into the curriculum, and you can get recognition from ICAI, from the Indian Chartered Accountants Association as well, through one of those accreditations. We are the only university in New Zealand that teaches actuarial science. So if you are highly skilled at mathematics and you'd like a fantastic career predicting risk for insurance and finance companies, you can be accredited as an actuary through studying that major. There's also data science. There's information systems. If you think you'd like to become a business analyst, again, really good career area, high demand, both in New Zealand and internationally. And there could not be a better place in the world for studying tourism management, given the gorgeous location and also the value of the tourist industry to New Zealand there. The Bachelor of Laws is 4 years in length. It has 1 intake per year in February. You do not need to take any additional examinations to enter into your LLB. It's just based on your academics in 12th grade, and it does qualify you to register as a lawyer in New Zealand. It is also recognized in various other countries overseas. So, for example, Australia, the United Kingdom, most of the states in United States of America, and it is also recognized in Oman as well. We typically get some Omani scholarship students also coming every year for our Bachelor of Laws. Bachelor's of Science is 3 years in length, 2 intakes in a year, February and July. So as you can see, there are lots of different areas that you can study. We are in the top 100 worldwide for both earth sciences as well as marine biology. If you would love to study marine biology, we do also have our own coastal ecology lab that you get to study at, and some really fantastic practical fieldwork experiences in both of those subjects. We have renewable energy, we have environmental science and ecology and biodiversity, and then there's the other traditional sciences such as biology, chemistry, physics as well. In the same faculty, we also have the Bachelor's of Biomedical Science. So if you have studied biology and chemistry in your 12th grade, and if you would like a career as a medical researcher, then biomedical science is a fantastic choice for you. We have some great research institutes located at the university itself that are working on various programs related to new vaccines, cures for diseases, the development of medicine. So you get to learn under faculty who are very engaged in their own research alongside. You've got world-class laboratories. So if you think that you would like to develop new vaccines or, ensure that the next time there's a pandemic that we've got a good response to it, this could be a great career path for you as well. The Bachelor's of Health. So we don't teach MBBS. There's 2 universities in New Zealand that do, Auckland and Otago. Our Bachelor's of Health is more related to allied areas of the health industry. So health informatics is about health data. We've also got health promotion if you'd like to work with communities to promote healthy behavior, health psychology, health software development, and population health policy and service delivery is related to public health. Then there is the Bachelor's of Engineering. So the Bachelor's of Engineering takes 4 years to complete and has 1 intake per year in February. We have 3 majors available. We have cybersecurity, electrical and electronics, and software engineering. And under electrical and electronics and software engineering, you can also see the specializations that you can take. So electrical and electronics, you can specialize in communication engineering, machine learning, renewable energy, or robotics. And software engineering, you can specialize in artificial intelligence or networked engineering. Now, if you are a Bachelor's of Engineering student, you do get 800 hours of paid work experience with an engineering company before you finish your bachelor's degree. We place you with a company in the summers after your second and after your third years for your work experience. That means when you graduate, you're very work ready. You've already got a professional network, and we find that our engineering graduates tend to get offers very quickly on graduation for their work. Our last two programs, we have a Bachelor's of Education in Early Childhood Teaching. So if you love working with young children, this is a great option. There's very good careers available in early childhood teaching in New Zealand. There's one area where we do also have a shortage of trained professionals. And then we have a Bachelor's Midwifery, which takes 4 years to complete. So both of these programs lead to professional registration in their fields. Now, that's the bachelor's degrees all over. If you didn't see what you're interested in studying, you can also put something in the Q&A or the chat for me, and I'll do my best to tell you whether we have something that matches it or where else you might be able to study it in New Zealand. Apart from your educational program, we also run a number of different extracurricular programs at the university. So these are run by the university themselves. They're free to enroll in, and they really do add value alongside your degree. So the Wellington Plus program is a volunteering program. You sign up to do various volunteering activities in the community. You could be doing tree planting, you could be working with senior citizens or with children. You basically have a choice of which activities you'd like to sign up for. And the Wellington International Leadership Program, you sign up to basically attend various sessions, do reflection essays. You will be interacting with people like the ambassadors of foreign countries and the heads of international organizations. If you're interested in an international career, it's a fantastic networking opportunity. And if you finish one or both of these programs successfully, they are mentioned on your transcripts when you graduate too. We also have internships available. There's a buddy program at the university too, if you'd like a buddy. If you would like to experience not just one, but 2 countries when you study overseas, you can also study abroad while you're with us. So from second year onwards, we have more than 160 partner universities worldwide, all over the world. So you can do a semester abroad anywhere you'd like, really, whether it's America or Europe or Asia. And we will help you to find a good place to study the subject you're interested in as a secondary experience. We also have accommodation. For bachelor students, I do advise staying in university accommodation for your first year of study, because I think it's an easier way of settling into a new country. It also really helps with making friends, because you've got the other students who are there, you've got residential advisors looking after you, and they organize a lot of fun activities for you to do as hostel residents, so that you can get to know each other in the city. So we have hostels that provide catered accommodation, which means you get 3 meals a day. And we have others that are self-catered, which means you can cook for yourself if you've learned cooking so far and you're happy to do so. Now, if you have dietary requirements, so if you're vegetarian, or if you need halal food, or if you have some type of allergy, like a gluten allergy, that is fine. You just have to tell your hostel that, and they will make arrangements to ensure that there's suitable food available for you every meal. So don't worry about that, even if you do have a dietary requirement. They are very flexible about these things. They'll do their best to make sure that you have whatever you need while you're there. That's a picture of Wellington, so you can look forward to where you'll be studying. It really does look like that on a nice sunny day. Now onto the important bit, admission requirements. So I believe most of the students logged in today would be studying in either CBSE or ISC curriculum. So for CBSE and ISC students, you just need 75% average in your top 4 subjects. And if you have 65% in English, you also don't need to provide IELTS to us. That's it. no other requirements. When you apply to us, we need an application form, we need a passport copy, we need your 12th grade certificate. That's it, nothing else. If you're applying in advance before you finish your 12th grade, you can give us your 10th and 11th mark sheets as well as predicted scores if your school gives them. Now, in case there are students who are logged in from any other curriculums, you can see the requirements there also for the IB diploma, for the British curriculum and the American curriculum alongside. So scholarships. We do have a $10,000 academic merit scholarship that you can apply for. This is dependent on your grades in your 12th class. So just aim as high as possible if you would like one of those scholarships, as it is competitive. And we are also happy to sign agreements with schools so that we can offer a 10% fees waiver discount on your first year fees for your students. So if there are any interested principals or coordinators signed in today that would like a partnership with us, please do let me know. I would be happy to get in touch for an MOU so that we can offer that to your students. Now, working and careers. So I think I'd mentioned earlier, you can work part-time while you study, 20 hours a week and full-time in your holidays. And when you complete your bachelor's degree, you have a 3-year work visa. So one common question that I get is, how do placements work, or how do I find a job afterwards? So in New Zealand, we don't have a placement system like there is in India. Instead, what happens is we have a career services department that prepares you for the workforce. So they work with you to ensure that you know how to successfully attend a job interview, what types of techniques there are, that your CV and your cover letter are well written and appropriate for what you're looking for, that you know how to apply for jobs as well. They then organize career expos. So in career expos, we invite in companies from all across New Zealand. Sometimes we have a general career expo, and sometimes we have, you could say, subject specific expos. So for example, there would be a law expo, there would be a design expo, there would be business and science and health. So you have a number of these throughout the year where you can go, you can meet potential employers, they'll be telling you about job interviews, and some of those employers do shortlist applicants or interview on the day. We do have some quite big names coming. So for example, if you're in engineering, Google and Microsoft do come to the campus for recruitment as well. Government agencies come, private businesses come. In New Zealand, when you graduate, you can work for the government as well as an international citizen. You don't have to be a New Zealander to do that. So many of my graduates, because of our location in Wellington, the capital city, they do also end up in New Zealand government positions afterwards as well. So COVID-19 update, because I know there will always be some questions about this. It's all at the top of our minds. New Zealand has coped very well throughout the pandemic. We have had an elimination strategy where the borders have been closed pretty much since March 2020, with only very limited people allowed back into the country. So at present, only exempted cohorts of students are entering. We expect that to change next year. The government has set a 90% vaccination target for lifting restrictions. We're going very well so far. I think about 80% of New Zealanders, or is it maybe about 85% now, I think, have had their first dose of the vaccine. We have Pfizer, so the second dose is not far behind, about 6 weeks after that. So I am hoping we will meet that 90% target either sometime towards the end of this year or early next year. So there should be a controlled opening of New Zealand's borders in 2022. So just keep in touch. We will keep you updated about potential entry dates for students. For most of our programs, students can also begin online. There's only a very few with practical study options where they can't, they have to wait until they come down. The others, it's the model of you can start online and then transfer down as and when the borders open. And students entering do need to be fully vaccinated. New Zealand has a very wide list of vaccines that they are accepting. but just be aware that you will need to have had both doses of your vaccine before you can travel down to the country. That's been made a formal requirement now. So there's my contact details. I'll also put the Calendly link there as well for the bookings. As you can tell by my number, I'm actually based in India, out of Mumbai actually. So very easy as per the time zones to keep in touch with me. And I do hope to be back to Oman one day soon and perhaps visit you at some of your schools as well. So please do keep in touch. If you'd like to have a chat about your study options, book one of those Calendly appointments with me. And now I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and we've hopefully got some interesting questions to answer.
Thank you, ma'am. It was truly an enriching and empowering session. Now, let us watch a video presentation about the university.
There comes a time in everyone's life when they get to discover what they're made of. What will you become? Who will you become? At Victoria University of Wellington, finding your future is just as possible as finding yourself. Victoria is situated in the capital city of New Zealand, recently rated one of the most prosperous countries in the world. Prosperous because true success is reflected in a country's society, because New Zealand knows how to turn economic wealth into social well-being, and its students graduate with more than academic knowledge, they come out with applied intelligence. What makes it unique? Its size, location and diversity. A city influential enough to make a global difference, but compact enough that you feel safe to explore. A university highly ranked and big enough to attract high-caliber academics, but small enough that you can feel free to speak your mind. 3 campuses so integrated in the capital that you'll make career connections, and so full of activities you'll make friends for life. Calburn Campus, home to the humanities, sciences, education and engineering, exposes you to some of the world's most leading research institutes and the city's most spectacular nature. Tiaro, the architecture and design school, offers a creative vibrancy both in its studio-style classes and its surrounding creative quarter. The Pipitea campus of law and business immerses you in the country's parliament and diplomatic district, and Wellington's waterfront and event-attracting venues. Everything is only 15 minutes away, between campuses, city, accommodation and nature. You will nurture your intelligence and independence, learn to answer and to question. You'll start your career and your life. Come to Victoria University of Wellington to find your future and yourself.
That was indeed a splendid video. Ma'am, may I request you to answer a few queries which have been raised by a valued audience? May I now invite our moderator, Neha ma'am, for the session to share with you the questions raised by the audience.
Hi, Andrea. And
Hi, Neha.
good evening to all. I must say it was quite an enlightening session on every detail about the university and about every bachelor course. So thank you so much for that. There are a couple of questions. The first one is, what could be the approximate expenditure, including the fee and the cost of living? A rough amount, if you can tell us.
Okay, so it depends on the bachelor's degree that you're studying. Humanities are usually at the lower end of the scale. Engineering is at the upper end of the scale, and everything else is somewhere in between. So it starts at about 29,000 New Zealand dollars per year and goes up to about 39,000 New Zealand dollars per year. And I'm just trying to do a quick xe.com calculation for what that is in Omani Rials. And in terms of living expenses, we say about 20,000 New Zealand dollars a year is a good amount to budget. So if we speak in Rials, then you would be budgeting maybe about 8,000 Rials to 10,000 Rials per year for the bachelor's degree, and then about 5,500 Rials per year for your living expenses.
Yeah, thank you so much. Another question was, you did mention about the virtual learning in case
Yes.
the borders don't open. So in that case, how will the online learning be assessed?
Yeah. So what happens with the virtual learning is that there's both, and you're probably familiar with these terms via the synchronous and the asynchronous aspects of the virtual learning. So you will have lectures. You can either tune in live to your lectures, or else you can watch a recorded version later. So if it's on at an unsuitable time as per your time zone, it's not that you miss out on the lectures, but then there will be other sessions such as tutorials that you will need to attend live. And these tutorials, they will set them up so that they are at suitable times as per your time zone. So it might be a little bit early in the morning, but it won't be at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something like that. It might just be that you're starting off your school day at 7 a.m. or something along those lines. So you will have some sessions where you're learning live. There will be some sessions where you're watching recorded lectures, you're doing your readings. In terms of the assessment, most assessment in New Zealand and at the university, it's not, probably the more traditional system where you have one big exam at the end of your semester. You might have an exam at the end of your semester, but along the way, you will be doing essays, you'll be doing project reports, you might have group projects, you might be, depending on the subject that you're doing, you might have a literature review. It does depend course to course, it does depend faculty to faculty, what they assign to you. But for the online students, they have ensured that those assignments are something that you can do when you're away from the university. And as a university student online, you do still have access to all of our library resources and databases alongside. So you won't miss out on any of those learning materials.
Yeah, thank you so much. And the last question is, any language courses available at your university?
Yes, so quite a few actually. If you're speaking about English for academic purposes, so for example, you feel that you'd like to increase your English language level before you study with us, we do have that. You can enroll in intensive English language sessions so that you can get your English language up to whichever level you're looking for. Some of our programs do have strict IELTS requirements. I missed mentioning that earlier. Only two of them, the Bachelors of Early Childhood Teaching and the Bachelors of Midwifery, actually require IELTS 7 in each band. So if you don't have that, you might want to enroll in an English language program first. Apart from that, we have a number of different languages that you can study through the Bachelors of Arts, and there's a very wide variety. So you can do everything from Italian, German, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese. You can do Maori language if you'd like to learn the Indigenous language of New Zealand. There's a whole wide range of them. They're all taught within the Bachelors of Arts. And if you have an interest in language, then you might like to do either a linguistic or an intercultural communication major alongside. That can be some fantastic choices for students who love learning languages. We do also have some great programs that students can sign up for as extracurriculars. So we have like a language buddies program where if you're learning Chinese and another student wants to learn Hindi or wants to improve their English, you become language buddies and you help each other to learn your languages. So it's a really nice way to make a new friend as well as be able to interact with a native speaker of the language that you're trying to learn.
Sounds quite interesting. So thank you so much, Andrea, and hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much, Neha.
Thank you, ma'am. We are truly grateful for your relevant, valued, and patient answers to all our queries. I am sure the participants are enlightened and have got a true picture about the prospects available for them at your esteemed organization. Attendees, kindly remember to fill in the feedback form. And in case you forget, don't worry, it is available on the website as well. As we have come to the end of this session, I reckon it a privilege to put my gratitude into words. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express a profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings on His Majesty and this peaceful and prosperous country of our residence. We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Miss Andrea from Victoria University, Wellington. Thank you, ma'am. The session was truly informative and enlightening. It opened up new vistas in front of us. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, distinguished guests, and esteemed officials from Indian schools in the Sultanate of Oman, and other members of board and honorary members on the Board of Directors, Indian schools in Oman. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams, for your encouraging presence and guidance at all times.
Our sincere thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the Honorary President of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the committee for their overwhelming encouragement at all times. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our tower of strength and source of motivation, our beloved principal, Mr. D.N. Rao, the honorable principals of all the participating schools in the Middle East and North Africa region, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching community of all the participating schools for their support, guidance, and active involvement. We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor StudyGo, gold sponsors Jain Group of Institutions, Grey Matter Academics, Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education, and Vellore Institute of Technology. Bronze sponsors Middle East College, Thapar University, MIT World Peace University, Pune, and Dallas Baptist University. Our digital partner Spectrum, and our media partner The Arabian Stories for their support in making this mega event possible.
I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their valuable presence in making this session of our Global Career Fair, AVENIR 2021, a grand event. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. My earnest and heartfelt thank you to my ISWK team behind the scene working tirelessly and making AVENIR 2021 a tangible reality. Last but not the least, I thank Almighty God for making this session a great success. Thank you all. Do join the informative session at 7 p.m. by Miss Mubaraka Tayyiboy on the topic, Everything You Need to Know to Study Abroad. StudyGo's Complete Guide. Stay tuned and stay safe.